Yeah.
Today, these young kids, they don't care about money. They don't care about money. What they care about is the scoreboard.
Oh,
And when I'm talking about the scoreboard is because I got 7 bodies, because I got 12 bodies, I
oh,
shot 20 people. That's what these kids care about. And it's because nobody's teaching them about money. Nobody's teaching them about the system. Nobody's teaching them, yo, look, listen, get this money, invest in Apple. Yo, get this money, do this.
mhm.
Invest in yourself, right? Like, so that's why these kids are doing all these things, is because it's like, if you don't got money and you broke, like,
Works, 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 works.
speaking about you are what you eat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are not conscious of these things. And it's because we live in a system where they're supposed to brainwash you, manipulate you, the commercials, the Doritos, the Takis,
It's
the
not supposed to.
sodas.
They did. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
the system working the way it's supposed to,
The
right? That's
system is designed to
that's
work
what
the
threw
same
away.
exact way it's
That's what I
designed.
mentioned with the pizza shop and the smoke shop. Now there's so many smoke shops. Like it's like someone said, I heard, and it was like, yo, they just want us all to be smoked out, so we think that all the crazy stuff that's going on is just like cool.
Absolutely. And like you see, like we talk about woke culture,
Yeah.
you cannot be woke if addictions and obsessions have taken over your body, where you're constantly smoking, whether cigarettes, weed, whether you're constantly drunk and you're drinking and you're doing hookah.
Yeah.
So it's like sobriety is very important. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's part of the way to get out of the maze and defeat the system, because food is the biggest drug, right? Like what they feed the Doritos, Oreos, this, that, like the way they manipulate you with the sugar
Hmm.
is designed to be that way. So like now you eat all these sugars, you eat all these fats, you do all these things, you go to the doctor prescribes you a pill that doesn't really make you better, but it makes you keep coming back
Yeah.
in a full vicious circle.
Hmm.
So it's like you're never gonna get out of it. So the system is definitely designed to do the things that the system is doing. So what do you think about woke culture, consciousness, and all that?
Um, I think the you mentioned it before. Like I think the biggest attack is the consciousness. Like that's what they're trying to take away from people, right? With ChatGPT, you can't even like you got a question, it was Google it, right? But now it's like something that would literally like tell you what to do and like give you a whole plan. Before it was just like the answer you asked Google. Like it would just tell you that and give you mad links. You had to at least choose which one you wanted to go
Yeah, yeah.
to. But now it's just like direct feed the consumer, which is like everything. So
I
man,
agree with you, man. Like, you know, like society has made it so easy to get like instant gratification. Like, even some people don't even know how to use their phones to get to ChatGPT, to get to Google, to look for an answer on their own.
yeah.
Like, people don't even know how to like rely on their own thinking or how to even look for things on their own. It's
Mhm.
like we got, and I say this in a very respectful way, we got smartphones, dumb people,
Yeah.
right? So it's like you cannot let technology run your life. You, like technology is a robot. The man is supposed to control the machine. The machine is not supposed to control the man.
Yeah. I mean, that goes, I think most people just, all this stuff works because most people don't know who they are. I think at the core, that's what it is, right? Because if you understood like what's going on, you would be like, yo, like, you know how people have ops, people say that? Like, if you look around, like, you have mad ops. Like, there's so McDonald's, all the fast food companies are ops, right? What else? Like the congressman, all the like those the system itself could be ops, right? The
Yes.
system itself, right? Police, right? It's not the police officer, but it's like the system of even policing is in op, right?
Politics,
Yeah,
like definitely, and
yeah.
like if you want to get even deep into that, because that's what it's about. Like when I geek out on finances, like I geek out like S&P 500 companies.
Hmm.
Most of them are the ops. You just
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
understand that. You have to wake up. Like there's no way that you don't think that McDonald's, Burger King are not the ops, right? Like they're there for a reason, right?
Everything like the fashion, like they've taken things that you would think would be wholesome, like culture, right? Like things that bring us together, that are part of our identity, whether you're like religious or like you're where you like geographically where you're from, like in Dominican Spanish, like all this stuff. They've integrated ways to control people in every single way.
Absolutely.
So it's like you can't even blame. You asked me before, right? Like, what is it that like are my priorities or what? The biggest thing that sits in the top of my brain now, today, as I sit here, like outside of the system of like basketball, is my identity was supposed to play a game because my height that God gave me, whatever you, if you choose to identify or not, right? Is more just freedom. Like, like, how do I maintain being a free person?
That's tough.
That's the only thing I think
Yeah.
about every day.
And then
And that is like at the crux of it, the reason why money is there is because to be able to do whatever you want, when you want, with whoever you want, for as long as you want, is really freedom.
yeah, and absolutely, you know what I'm saying? Like money is not everything, right?
Yes.
But money is a tool, and the tool provides you a living, a lifestyle, freedom, right? Like you
Yes.
got to pay your bills, you got to put food in the fridge, you got to move from point A to point B. So absolutely, like for me, like you mentioned the word identity so much.
Yeah.
Identity, identity, identity. Identity is a story that you keep telling yourself,
Yeah.
right? A lot of people in our neighborhoods and neighborhoods that are similar to the ones that we are, they feel like their identity is material, whether it's
Yeah.
fashion,
Of course.
whether it's jewelry, whether it's a car that costs more than they have in the bank,
Of
and
course.
it has nothing to do with the status of lifestyle that they live.
Of
So
course.
identity is a story that you keep telling yourself. And if you look in the mirror, that's the best place to find your identity, because the mirror doesn't lie. But
That's right.
like you said earlier, man, like there's so many things that are intercepting the frequencies and the wavelengths just to like be consciously aware of what's going on is a victory in itself.
That's a superpower.
Yeah, it's a superpower. So how did you attain the superpower?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I always think that I had an epiphany like freshman year of high school, though. But the reason why I started rapping first, right? Everybody knows that. Like, I always wanted to be a rapper. If you know, you know. But I didn't want to play basketball. I wanted to be a rapper first, right? But I remember like something like was in my brain was like, yo, like I need to do something to get out of this. I didn't know what that meant, um, or like, but the meaning. But I always felt like I had a purpose at that point, right? So like rapping was the only thing we know, right? Going back to identity, right? It's like, all right, you either play ball, you rap. My father did music. He used to open up for Bone Thugs and Harmony when I was like 3.
And I
So
miss
like
my
I've been around
underdog.
all that. Yeah, like I've been around all that. My dad was a gangster. Like we had drugs in a diaper. Like I was a statistic by all means,
All
right?
of us are.
So
All of us are.
exactly. So I would say like in high school is when I was like, okay, like I need to do something. Like that was the first time. And then with that, it was like then basketball came. But I always had like an inclination. It could have been being raised in the church. It could have been something like that where I always felt like I was guided in some way. Um, which I just feel like I'm either lucky or it's something that some people do have, some people don't on this planet. You know what I mean? And my whole goal, I remember first with basketball, I wanted to be the best player. I wanted to be better than Michael Jordan, right? That's the everyone says that.
That was the goal. The
But
goal is
eventually, like how we get to Cassius, like is because I understood like when I was at high school finding my identity, that's usually what happens around 16, 17, right? People always used to say, you look like Muhammad Ali, you look like Muhammad Ali. And I'm like, I don't know who that is, but okay, cool. Like, and then when I started to look into him, Cassius Clay was his name, right? When he was his birth name. And he was just this loud, boisterous black phenomenon youth kid who was really good, like a incredible boxer. But when he won the USA, came back, he was still fighting against Jim Crow and slavery and stuff like that, right?
yeah.
So facing racism, but he was still unapologetically black, unapologetically himself, right? He was unapologetically outspoken, and I loved that. I was like, yo, like that's cool. And then eventually, it turned out to he turned to Muhammad Ali, right, and all that kind of stuff. It was more about being a man of the people, right? That kind of thing. So like there was a purpose. So then I remember I had like fake girlfriend back in high school. I don't know how we did it, but and she was like, "Don't you think like maybe don't you want to be more than a basketball player?" Like I don't know. I feel like and she wanted to be a doctor. To this day, I spelled her name wrong on the gift. I did bad. I said boyfriend, but
Byron.
she was like, don't you want to be like more than a basketball player?" And no one's ever asked me that because deep down I felt like I've always wanted to help people, but maybe like basketball could get me there. Because if LeBron James says something, right, not to put him on a spot or anything like that, but LeBron James says something, people listen,
Yes.
whether they agree with it or not. They follow like sheep. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
Bron said
yeah.
it. Bron did it,
He has a
right?
voice. He has a
He
voice.
has a voice. So in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I think I have a message which is like consciousness, being a being free mentally is a lot better than anything we could fathom, right? But in order for me to like even walk down that road from the things that I feel like I'm experiencing or that I'm learning, like people have to listen to me. And you need money, you need status, you need like something for people to actually blindly listen and actually be like, oh yo, I mess with what he's saying. Or I actually hear I understand what he's saying. So it was like, okay, cool. If I make it to this is really my plan going through college. It wasn't, and this is when like the I remember J. Cole did this thing. I forgot what happened, like social justice wise. Oh, okay. I was playing in. I remember I played in China, and something happened. I came back because in China they have rules where like they control the media basically.
Yeah, I've been to
And I
China.
came back, and then the Baltimore riots were happening. So I've always been like a social justice kind of buff, like because
Yeah, me too.
that's my like I feel like that's an injustice. One being black, but two because like I want to stand for something. You know what I mean? So it was like okay, cool. If I can make it to the NBA, I probably play for like 3 years. Maybe I can get like 10 mil, 10 mil before before taxes, maybe, right? I don't think I would have been like a superstar, but get like 10 mil, and then after that, use my voice to kind of travel and maybe like learn what life is about and maybe try to wake people up in that way so I can impact the
Yeah,
world.
man. Yeah, man. Look, listen, you have a wonderful mind, and that's what's been able to separate you from the rest of the people and like your peers. Because like sometimes, like when you have the mindset, fundamental, right? They talk about the game is 90% mental,
Yeah,
right? When you have the mindset that you have, a lot of times you lose a lot of friends and you lose a lot of
oh, for
family
sure.
members because it's like your way of thinking is like unorthodox because those people are boxed in the system.
Yeah,
And like we have a lot of friends, right? Where we come from, people who, like die before the age of 21.
yeah,
People go to jail before they graduate from high school.
yeah,
And something that is, I guess, like a urban myth is trap my body can't trap my mind, right? So that's
yeah,
what the people that I go to jail like you got my body trapped, but you can't trap my mind. I feel like 90% of the people out here, their minds are trapped.
yeah. I mean, that's the whole
And
thing. That's why it's a prison pipeline for a reason, right? It's not. I walk past the precinct all the time, and it looked just like my elementary school.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's all the same. Like
Yo,
you know
listen,
what I
listen,
mean? It's not.
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, it's designed that way. It makes no sense to think that people who are in charge of millions of dollars did that by coincidence,
So
right?
check this out. My first master's was in public school to prison pipeline, and the reason I was always interested in like neuroscience and brain and the system was because I was the only person from all of my friends that went to college. So I was like, I was always like, damn, I want to think how they think, or like I want to be able to connect with them.
Hmm.
So like I kind of like I say this joke, and I mean it very humbly. Like I went to go get smart so I could talk to dumb people, right? And I don't mean to like call anyone dumb.
Yeah.
And then as I'm learning all these things, I learn okay, the high school walls and the cafeteria look the same as Rikers Island.
Hmm.
The food is the same exact thing. And then when the Rockefellers back in the 50s and 60s, when they were controlling the Department of Education and the Board of Education,
Hmm.
what happened was they were like, let's make these people smart, but let's make them smart enough that they can go clock into work and
Yeah.
take orders.
Yep.
Let's not make them smart so that they can take over the business or run their own business
Yes.
because what we need is employees.
Hmm.
And then after that, it goes into from them being employees, it was like, okay, if we teach them these things in high school setting, because you already know if you're going to jail or not, most likely by the fifth grade, based on your third and fourth grade state exams. They kind of know where they put you at as far as like an IEP. I'm geeking out
Okay.
crazy right now because like I really live this life and I'm really conscious and I'm really woke about what's going on.
Yeah.
So from there they'd be like, all right, this guy's gonna go to jail. So they already knew like, all right, these kids in school are gonna go to jail.
Mhm.
What can we build for them? public school to prison pipeline. All right, let's find a way to get these public school kids to go straight into jail, and then it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't get out of jail, they're going to be workers for us for all these S&P 500 companies.
Mhm.
And maybe out of 100, 2 or 3 of them might be woke.
Yeah.
So, like, like for us to geek out on the consciousness and the mindset, like, there's not that many people that have these conversations. Anything else you want to say about this?
Like in general, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, man, if you're not learning, or if you're not trying to actively just go, like, we look up stuff all the time, right? Right. So just look up like
Anything.
any,
Because
like,
you know what it
yeah,
is? Everybody's like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist.
yeah. It's
That's
not,
not
and that's why I
real.
try to
That's
stay,
Illuminati.
and that's
That's
why I try
secret
to stay away
society.
from. That's why I try to stay away from words that kind of like make people think, because you don't want to turn people off from sounding crazy, right? I know what I'm saying. It sounds crazy because you probably never thought about it that way, but it doesn't sound crazy where I'm like, aliens put us here. You know, those are two different things, right? Where it's like saying the aliens built the pyramids, right? You lose people instantly, glossy eyed,
Yep.
right? But saying like, yo, like, you ever thought like, why does a McDonald's next to a KFC next to a Burger King, but then when you go downtown, it's like the Sweet Greens and it's the Kava and it's the Starbucks. Like, you never, like, just look that up, right?
And
And you start to get into a rabbit hole if you really are inquisitive, because there's people who really do want to learn, and those are the ones that I'd be like, I wouldn't say that they're, and that's why I disagree with what you're saying about the whole learning to be smart to talk to dumb people, right? It's more about people who are just, they're just not awake yet,
unaware.
right? They're just
And,
not there.
and remember, like, this is me as 18, 19 years old,
Hmm.
thinking about, like, oh, let me get smart to talk to dumb people. Like,
Yeah,
I do not even think about it like
yeah.
that or anything like of that nature,
Hmm.
right? Because I feel like we all are superheroes and we all have different superpowers.
Yeah,
But something that you're talking about, why does KFC next to the McDonald's, next to this and next to that, right? Let's go back to that. It's a system.
yeah,
So when you put in your zip code, the system knows what type of people live there,
yeah.
as far as your ethnicity, your race, your age. So with these zip codes, these S&P 500 companies, McDonald's, Chipotle, T-Mobile,
Mhm.
AT&T, all these things,
Yeah.
they have data.
Which they're selling.
Exactly. Number one thing in the world, data. So they have the data. So now when they have the data, they understand, like, okay, let's put this here. Because these people are the people that have diabetes. These people are the people that are obese. These are the people that are going to continue to eat this. So, like, the system is designed exactly to do what the system is doing.
Hmm.
The system is flourishing. The system is successful for the people who have designed the system.
Yeah,
So if you don't break the system and you don't break the mold and your mindset and the way of thinking fundamentally, you're not ever going to get out of the system.
yeah. And it's not like I don't put the onus on people who are just trying. You know what I mean? Like, the biggest thing I would have people start off with is like, try something small, right? Try just to do something simple that's good for you and keep it consistent, right? Because I think discipline unlocks all that.
Simplicity is profound.
Yeah. It's like like you said, the fundamentals, right? Like, if you was just like, all right, I'm just gonna not eat junk food for a month. I'm just not gonna drink soda for a month or 2 weeks, and then see how you feel. See how your body transitions. See how your body changes. See how your hormones change. See how your how clear your brain starts to get. I didn't even tell you to do nothing crazy, but I just told you to just watch what you put in, and then see what happens. Go
Yeah.
for a walk at least 45 minutes, 30 minutes a day.
Smile in the sun for 20 seconds, and
Yeah,
they're like all these are all things that are very, very powerful.
yeah.
Like, and like once you start making these switches, like your body starts to feel different. Like, of course, because you're addicted to the fried chicken and the soda, like your brain is gonna feel weak, your
Mhm.
eyes are gonna hurt a
Which
little
is why
bit.
when you said that, you was like, "Oh, it's okay to eat the fried chicken." I come out and like, because in my
The,
head it's
the
like,
hormones come back.
if we switched it, right? I told this to my mom all the time, because that's why I said my brain is just. I understand I'm different. Like, I get it, right? It's like, oh, I only eat fried chicken sometimes. All right, so we like took fried chicken, the word, right, and put crack. I only do crack sometimes. People be like, "Yo, you good, bro?" Now I only snort coke sometimes. Now, like once a month, I like shoot heroin. You
That's true.
I look at people the same way
No,
because in their head is like they're so conditioned to think that fried chicken is okay to the point that they'll even do it and make an excuse for doing it.
damn, you killed every piece of fried chicken I ever wanted in my life right
Just
now because
it's
no
facts.
lie.
And then if you look at the history, so this is how my brain works. All right, cool. Like this is bad. All right, why? Right? Where does it come from? Fried chicken comes from ancestral slavery. Now, if I'm wrong,
Yes.
just
No,
correct me
you're
in the
not. You're not.
comments.
You're
Right?
not. You're not.
Comes from
The
slavery.
scraps that
The
they threw in the
reason
fire.
why
Yep.
they fried the chicken is because it lasted longer. Because they didn't have refrigerator, go to the thing, take it out, order DoorDash. They didn't have that,
And
right?
it was the scraps that were left over from
That's
the
why you
real
have
chicken.
chicken gizzards,
Yeah.
right? It was whatever was left, right? So if you just do the thing, it leads to like, nah, I probably shouldn't do this. This is actually from the ops. Like
From the ops.
it's from the ops.
And
If
for
you
my
want to,
Dominicans, real quick. Chicharrón, fried pork is the same exact thing. Like when slavery was here, we did not have options to go in the house and eat the healthy greens and the grilled chicken and the grilled salmon. So we got the scraps and we fried them in the firewood. So you really gotta uncode. Yeah,
and that's
listen.
why I said if you just do research on things, you'll come to the answer, and then it's up to you to really be like, do I still want to continue to do this? But I feel like that's better than just blindly going through, right? And I don't blame, like, I honestly don't blame people. Like, I used to, when I was a kid, it would be like, look at people, and I think I got as far as I did because it was like, if you was on that, I'm off you, kind of
Yeah,
thing. But
yeah,
as I
yeah.
get older, I'm like, it's not their fault, right? Like, as soon as you out the womb, you don't choose your parents, I bet. So now, where are you growing up at? That's already strike one against you,
You don't
right?
choose that either.
Strike two, a boy or girl, right? Are you getting a train? Are you getting a dress? Are you like how are you about to assimilate, right? Who your identity is. Since you are born, you really have no idea who you could be or who you are, right? So like part of understanding the way the system works is understanding how it works against you. You break down your own flaws and then you become like this moldable character, I feel like.
Yep.
And then once you get to that moldable character, depending on what you've seen, and you should be far along enough to be like, okay, this is who I want to be. And then that's when I think people become, you can say woke or whatever you want, but I think that's when you become like free. That's what I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah.
Because
Listen,
it's like now I bet like I know what's bad. I'm not gonna do that. If I do that, I understand that that's not me. That's someone else that did that for me. So if I really wanted to be 100% authentic to who I want to be, it would be counterproductive to eat fried chicken. Not to dwell on this, but
yeah, no, no, no.
yeah.
Listen, I
So
think
it's
we're
like
just
that with fashion, is that with language, is that with music, is that with, and then it all trickles down.
yeah,
Because anybody, like you mentioned in jail, anybody doing life right now, they'll tell you, yeah, I just, well, how were you like as a kid? Most people as kids were really good. They were just kids, right? Like in my head, like racists are not born racist, right?
yeah.
Like there's it's something you learn, right? And you continue to just pass down.
Listen, you were talking about like you are what you eat.
Yeah.
The food, the music that you put in your playlist is food that you're feeding your brain. Like everything is some type of anything that's going into your body is what you're feeding your body. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your temple because it's like if you're listening to drill music, most likely you're gonna be in drill mode every single day. If you're listening to a nice little Beethoven, violin vibes,
Well,
little
you
jazz.
ever did the I heard it somewhere and I'm sure I hear it, the thing, but the rhythm and the way that
Yup,
the
yup,
circadian rhythms,
yup,
right?
yup,
And
yup.
how drill just started like a couple years ago, pretty much, right? 2020. It still was a thing in UK, right? But like the way the beats are, doom, 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 like
It's supposed to
it
do
was
that to you.
supposed to be apparently I remember hearing that it's like it's a rhythm that in Africa they would play before war, before they were fighting tribally, right? It was like a way to gather and get your blood pumping and riled up to literally go kill. Like, so the way that they integrate it into the music is like, no wonder that's what you would listen to before you go. And I, as speaking as someone who has a kid, um, backstory, I never said this, but um, I grew up listening to 50 Cent, big 50 Cent fan, G Unit all the way. Like, but I understand why now, but big 50 Cent fan. And I got suspended in third grade because I brought a knife to school. but I brought a knife to school. Nowadays, kids shoot the school up when they get
Yeah,
bullied.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, like I don't get it. Me personally, maybe I'm an old head, I'm unk now or whatever, big brother.
Nah, it's like,
But
you know what it is.
I was like, this guy's bullying me. I'm gonna go handle because in my head, the 50 Cent music was about blah blah. Get to it, like I'm like, you know what I mean. So that's what I grew. And mind you, what? How old you were in third grade?
7, 8,
Like 7, 8, right? But my dad was
six,
like I
7.
told you, my dad was a gangster. He was a big crip, right? Um, I remember holding the gun. The first earliest moment I could think of memory is holding a gun. Probably like 3 years old, two or something like that. So that like there's a obsession with that. And then when I moved, my father wasn't around, so naturally 50 Cent was like that mold of a father figure.
Yeah, no, listen,
And yeah, man, like that goes back to media and all that stuff being powerful because it's like you can't, and that's why I said I don't blame. I don't
yeah,
blame
you
people
can
at all.
because the media, look, listen, the media, they do these shows, these reality TV shows of whatever, Love Island, Survivor this, and blah,
Hmm.
blah, blah, because we identify with those people because we look like those people.
Yeah.
So they like, if you are watching a movie and there's a cop chasing a bank robber, what color is the bank robber? Don't answer. What color is the cop? Don't answer. Right? So it's like this is more things that they're feeding you with your eyes.
Hmm.
They're feeding you with the music. They're feeding you with all these things, right? So it's like that's why like I don't even watch reality TV show. Like people like
Or like
once
Love
again.
Island, Love
No, no,
Island,
listen. I don't turn on BET, VH1, reality. I've never been that type of person, and it's because it's like it's not what I want to feed myself.
Mhm.
Because you become what you eat, and you become what you hear, and you become what you see. So like you were talking about, you don't understand why kids are shooting kids and doing these things and all these other things.
No, I
This
understand.
this this Fundamental Works podcast was created for numerous things:
Yeah.
empowering, education, consciousness, and so much more.
Hmm.
But one of the main reasons I created this podcast was because I wanted to be able to speak to the urban youth and be that voice that Cassius Clay was and Malcolm X was, but just in a much more graceful way, right?
Yeah.
Kids in today's society, when I was growing up and you were growing up, the main thing that you wanted was money, that BMW,
Yeah.
and we idolize athletes and drug dealers and
And
rappers.
rappers, yeah.
Today, these young kids, they don't care about money. They don't care about money. What they care about is the scoreboard.
Oh,
And when I'm talking about the scoreboard is because I got 7 bodies, because I got 12 bodies, I
oh,
shot 20 people. That's what these kids care about. And it's because nobody's teaching them about money. Nobody's teaching them about the system. Nobody's teaching them, yo, look, listen, get this money, invest in Apple. Yo, get this money, do this.
mhm.
Invest in yourself, right? Like, so that's why these kids are doing all these things, is because it's like, if you don't got money and you broke, like you might as well talk
So
about something.
I would raise you one better. I don't think it's money that if we're talking about this youth, this generation, I don't think they're chasing money. I think it's I was the first thing that came to mind was clout, but
Clout.
the deeper word is self-worth. I think what they're chasing is self-worth because it's very hard to make money nowadays. Like it's not hard. You can work for Amazon or do whatever, right? But to make the kind of money that people want to make to be in the situation that they want to be is so far from where it used to be.
Yeah,
So
and
now it's like when you have social media, and I got this from Coach Pete, right? With him like coaching kids nowadays, right? Everything's about the gram, everything is about social media,
everything.
everything's about streamers. If you ask, like, which I've heard this plenty of times, most kids want to be, they don't want to be a doctor, lawyer, not even basketball player. They don't even really want to be a rapper no more. They want to be a content
You
creator.
want to be cursing that?
Yeah. And it's why, because you have validation from people.
Yep.
The chat, yo, chat, like this, yo, chat. What should I do, chat? Yo, chat. There's nobody here, but you talking to chat. Chat is random people talking and trying to be like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's not even, and then you get the likes and all that stuff. That makes you feel like
I,
gratification. But it's just
I
a sense that, like, how do you matter? How can you impact? And I think that is what has kids really doing whatever,
yeah.
right? To the point where you might join a gang, right? That was the whole thing. You had a family because you probably didn't have family. But now it's like, all right, catching bodies and doing all that stuff will make people fear me, make me feel
Yeah,
important,
and like they
right?
want to
And
like you talking about cloud, like they want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like
yeah,
they're a part of something.
yeah,
Yo, chat, bro. Like you don't know nobody on the other side of the screen, bro.
yeah. And
But
then
you
if
know,
you have
like
them go outside,
the validity is important for them.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So like the self-worth is what people what the youth is chasing because I think it trickles down, right? It's like at what point are we gonna get where it's like people say like enough is enough kind of thing, right? And I think for kids, we starting to get there because it's like little things are going against the status quo. I don't understand why people are using wired headphones, but it's a thing, right? It's like dressing bummy is a thing, right? That's the best thing because it's like it's so far out of like what's cool. Like wearing a mannequin, you should never be doing that, right? Because it's like saying you're whatever they tell you to do. I'm doing
Yeah,
a complete opposite, right? Having the broken phone, doing all the things that are like against the status quo is like their way of rebelling. But at the same time, I think streaming is something that is authentic,
yeah,
right? Like when you watch something stream, it's unedited, it's unfiltered. It's just me in my room and me and my friends,
it's
me
live
outside, and it's live, and we just doing whatever. And that is like authentic. So I think the kids are starving for
authenticity.
authenticity so much that it's either one way or the other, but both can be unhealthy in a certain way. Because in the real world, as adults, as myself, I'll say you are more of an adult than me, we understand like retirement is gonna be a thing, right? You can make way more money putting your money away, right?
Roth IRA, life
Having
insurance, stocks, options,
value,
trading.
literally all this stuff.
Yeah, there's so many things to do to make money, man. Like, and you can do them if you want to be a content creator. That's cool. You can do that. Run up the streams, right? Like, there's life insurance, there's Roth IRAs,
Mhm.
there's stocks, there's trading. Like, I got this course on my website. It's called Paycheck to Cash Flow.
Okay.
It's a free 20-minute course,
Mhm.
and it teaches you the fundamentals of investing and things that you can invest in that'll like give you a great ROI, return on investment on your money.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm so happy that you came on the pod today, because it's like identity is important. A lot of people want to identify you as a basketball player because you're 6'10". They want to identify you as a rapper because that's what we look like. They want to identify you as a boxer because you're an athlete and that's what you look like. And you look like 50 Cent and you look like this. The reason that you're on the pod today is because you broke the mold, your mindset. You've done phenomenal things in your life and you continue to do phenomenal things. And to be conscious and to be alert and to be aware is something that needs to be spoken about. And I feel like we are the voices that are on the forefront and the pioneers that are bringing those conversations to real life every day for the urban youth, for our
Yeah.
parents, and for the people in our era.
Hmm. Like generational trauma, like curses, all that kind of stuff, since I hit 30 is like what I've been trying to break down. So you like ask me about social media, like where they can find me. Like I don't even be on there anymore because it's like it don't benefit me. Like the only thing, like you ask me what do I do every day? I wake up, work out somehow, go to work, come back, fun. You have fundamental. I say this all the time. It's like you have to do something fun that makes you like what is Chris Lore like? What make you smile? Like
Yeah,
do at least 30 minutes of that because it's
yeah,
so easy to lose yourself in all the roles and hats that we feel we need to do that you forget like oh I like to roll dice. Like I don't know. I
yeah,
like little stuff that don't it's just make you I like to color. Like oh I would like to draw like that kind of stuff. Right.
absolutely.
So and then obviously I've gotten into like investing and trading and that kind of stuff because I feel like that's gonna be where I'm trying to retire by 40. So I'm trying to retiring by 40 is my goal right now. And that's really it. Like after that, after studying charts and reading, and right now I'm reading this book, Psychology of Money. So it's like breaking down even
Good
the way
book.
that I understand money, because even the money that I'm starting to see, if I don't change my habits that were passed down, that we were given, right? Buy this, do that, floss this, spend it on that, whatever. I'm not gonna get to where I want to be. So yeah, that's pretty much where I would say like you just need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to free yourself the best way you can.
Yeah, man. And breaking generational trauma is spiritual, it's financial,
Mhm.
it's mental, it's nutritional, it's
Yeah.
physical. Like there is not
It is
one.
it could be tiring.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah,
who
yeah, bro,
listen,
bro,
it
bro.
is tiring, bro.
It
Like
is
I
tiring.
remember, like I would love to eat some Popeyes. Like I remember, like you know what I mean. But then I start to think like where it comes from, what it does, and my body reacts too. I'm at the point now, like if I eat something bad, my body's like, "What'd you just do?" And I'm shitting myself. I'm like, I'm doing the whole thing, like
No, 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 no.
the
It's
bubble
true. It's
guts,
true.
all that, and it's just like because I understand and my body knows, but it's like as much as like I still go back as a human, we're flawed, right? And I think that's what they tell us to get us to be okay with making these little mistakes or whatnot. But after a while, it doesn't start to be as mundane as you might think it is.
Yeah, man. Look, being available is something that I always emphasize to people. Like if you have perfect attendance in anything that you do, eventually you're gonna be good at something. Like like the kid who always shows up to class might not be the smartest kid in the class, but he's gonna get the job done. The person that shows up to work is the person that you want on your team. And I feel like that's one of your biggest characteristics. And now that you're working in real estate and stuff like that, I know that I've asked you, yo, let's go work out. Yo, I got this pro kid, I got this Olympian kid.
Yeah.
Come work them out, come do this. And you're somebody that, yo, nah, I gotta go to work. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Um, Prioritization is something that's very, very important, and a lot of people don't prioritize a lot of things. I'm somebody every single day I wake up, I have a to-do list, and my
True.
to-do list is a priority list of maybe 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. But the when I do a priority list, the number one thing that I have is the most important thing I gotta get done that day. And then I go down the list. If I don't get to 7, it's okay because it wasn't that important. Where you're at in life right now, with your priorities and things that you're trying to accomplish and the next dream.
Man, biggest priority. I mean, I don't have like a daily thing. So for me, I guess it's like you have your priorities of things you got to do. Obviously, for me, it's like work, but if you want to take it outside of work, like I have to work out for sure. That's like a not every day, but at least like every other day. That's my thing, especially with like the whole injury thing and whatnot. I don't need to push myself to exhaustion anymore. So dealing with that still, but every other day, just because for me, it's not about like, say health or whatnot. I'm not gonna fall off the wagon and get fat because that's not.
Now we
I'm
can't
not
we
going
could
back,
we can't
but
we're not going back.
I'm not going
We're not going
back.
back to ninth grade Diego. And now
Not at
listen,
all. But
working out, lifting weights, playing a little basketball, doing a little jog, a little jump
yeah, I
rope.
do the stairs. So my spots is the stairs over there. Still do the stairs.
Me all day, every day.
Me and my I was trying to get my boys to start running George Washington Bridge. So we do that at least try and do 2 times a week, right? It's more about the mental part than it is anything to do physical.
Yeah, for the endorphins and everything, absolutely.
Yeah,
And it's like a healthy body leads to a healthy mind,
exactly.
body and brain connection, and all those things. And when we're talking about the stairs, we're not talking about the Joker stairs. We're talking about Washington Heights.
Okay.
We're talking about the stairs in 187 in Fort Washington.
All
You can catch me there every single summer at 7 a.m.
right.
So go ahead, you do the stairs, you
Yeah,
work
so
out. That's a
stairs,
priority.
yeah, so that's a huge priority. Just keeps my mind in the same like grinding mode. You know what I mean? Like there's no sleeping in because it's the same way. Like, oh, if I'm not working out no more, then maybe I don't need to read about like say investing or read about stocks and read about interest rates and think about things about that, right? It's like easy to fall into because once you make an excuse, I feel like for one thing, then it's easy to make an excuse for the next thing. It's just like a
Absolutely.
bowling, like a
It's a domino
Yo-yo
effect.
kind
It
of
just trickles
exactly.
down. It just trickles
Exactly.
down.
So
And
for
it's
me, it's like that is a huge thing. Eating right. I mean, not to put on a tinfoil hat, but I mean, you are what you eat. I mean, that's a real fact. You know what
that's
I
a
mean?
fact.
So, and you can see it. People, depending on what you eat, you can tell by their skin. You can tell by the way they look, like things like that. So, definitely eating right. I try to do that. Those are like non-negotiables. Like, so I wouldn't say
Yeah,
priority
no,
is something to do,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
make my
man.
smoothie in the morning. Got my little cartilage in there, creatine. If you don't know, do your research. It's very important.
Yeah.
Um,
When I first became a wealth and wellness educator and I was teaching physical education, the reason I became a phys ed teacher was because obesity and diabetes in the black and brown community is through the roof.
yeah.
Like, and everybody in my family suffers from diabetes, obesity. So for me, I was like, oh, it's because we got to work out. It's because we got to do this.
Mhm.
When it's not that at all. That's part of it, and that's very important part of it, but at the end of the day, it is what you eat. Like you can't be eating all these carbs, the mac and cheese, the rice, the white bread. Like you have to be able to learn how to like eat the fruits, eat the healthy stuff, eat the healthy proteins, get a little bit of protein,
Yeah.
the creatine, get the little omega fibers, the fish oil pills, and also like like eat things in moderation.
Yeah.
If you want the fried chicken, do that once a month. If you want the soda, make sure that it's diet. Like learn how to like cut out the sugars because those are things that are very important. So working out, eating right,
Right.
what else?
Then obviously you go to work, right? Obviously put your best foot forward, right? Because every day is an interview. You just never know. Every day is an interview. And
Bars.
one thing that I've known or learned is since being in this, like you don't know who's walking in, you don't know who's a partner with who, you don't know, and we get shocked too. So that's like a thing. Like there's people who purposely go out either by a company or just on their own who like go and try to do a fake tour or try to fake ask for information to see how you gauge one for fair housing laws. So that's one. And two, just to get a sense of like how are you when customers come in? You know what I mean?
Yo, that
So
oh, yeah,
if
listen.
you like every day is an interview because you don't know who you talking to, and I've learned that with basketball as well, right? Like I remember there was a guy that I'll never forget the pizza shop that used to be right there 190
Yeah,
before, now it's a smoke shop,
the train stop.
another smoke shop. Like there's just yeah. So that pizza place, I remember getting a slice of pizza. And some dude walked in. He asked me like, "Yo, how tall are you?" I told him. Obviously, that's how it first conversation. I was like, you know, 6'10". You play basketball? Yeah, you know, I do that. Whatever, whatever. Right. So I asked him like, "What do you do?" Like, he was like, "Oh, nothing. I just came to see my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she still lives around here. I'm a he was a forensic pharmacist. And I was like, I don't know what that meant at all. He's like, yeah, I live down in Florida, but I come down here, you know, every so often. I just fly up just to see how my mom is doing, you know. And I make like almost a quarter million a year, but I tell my mom she don't need to live here no more. But she's just like, no, like that we ain't like I feel comfortable here, this is whatever. So he, you know, understands, but he's like, I just come in and out and I leave. So he was like, the biggest thing is that you never know who you're gonna talk to. You never know
That
who's gonna
yeah.
have there's a networking that thing that's like you're one person is 10 people to 100 people. If
Yup.
you do the math, if you have one conversation with someone that knows something, you just never know. Oh, yo, I know somebody who's into that.
Yeah.
And then
S-
I could plug you in or I could do whatever. So networking, that kind of thing. So every day being in an interview, when I go back to work, when I'm at work, it's like I put my best foot forward, the same way I would in basketball.
And you said so many great things right there, right? Like every day's an interview. That is a fact. Every day's an interview. And like your body's your temple. How you show up in a suit, how you show up on time.
Yeah.
Like you're interviewing right there subconsciously without even knowing.
Hmm.
And like, not that I like to judge people or anything like that, but like you're getting interviewed in every single breath, every single step, and
It's
everything that
a
you're doing.
it's a human natural thing to
Yeah, yeah.
judge. Like it's a
Yeah,
thing, like you know, you're not supposed to judge, don't judge a book by its cover. Cap.
yeah. Listen, I judge.
Cap. It's cap.
I
It's
judge every
cap.
book by its cover.
It's cap.
There's not a book that I'm reading that like I'm judging the cover because that's the first thing that I see. Now, if you
Yes.
refer a book to me, that's something else.
Yeah.
But you were talking about also networking. Network is net worth,
Hmm.
and 7 degrees of separation. Like how you show up for yourself is how other people are going to connect you to other people.
Yeah.
I believe that humans are the biggest resource on planet Earth. Like you can go on Google, Chat GPT,
Yeah.
LinkedIn for a job or for whatever it is. But if somebody really respects you, they value you, and they see your characteristics, they're going to connect you to a job easier than anything, any website or any platform online.
Hmm.
So it's definitely important to interview, act like you're gonna get interviewed every single day. Take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of your spirit, and put your best foot forward every single day. It's about who you connect with. Now, you also said something that is part of fundamental works because like we have dreams, and that's how we started the conversation.
Yeah.
That pharmacist, he has a dream for his mom,
Hmm.
and he wants his mom to get out the hood and do all these other things. Sometimes other people's dreams for you is not your own dream.
Yeah.
Like I know probably hundreds of people have a dream for you to go to the NBA, and I know as a son, the I want to get my mom out the hood. You want to get your mom out the hood. That pharmaceutical person want to get their mom out the hood. Sometimes your own dream is your own dream,
Yeah.
and that's a tough reality that we have to live. That you have to do what's best for you, and you have to line up yourself and put yourself in the best position possible so that you can take people with you, not by words but by action.
Yeah.
So You know, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the adult you've become. I'm so proud of everything that you've taken on. I'm so proud how you interview every day. I'm so proud how you give back to our community. I'm so proud of how you represent our community. If there's any piece of advice that you want to leave people with, what would it be?
Man, it's tough. I'll say this: it's for the ones that it's meant to be for. Like, don't half-ass it. Like, don't half-ass it. Like,
It's
if
either
if
you're all in or you're not.
just because that's the way my brain works. I always make the I don't know if it's a joke or if it's bad or but I feel like I'm autistic. I'm starting to understand myself and look at the way like the world. I studied psychology and sociology, right? That was my major in school.
Study
And
neuroscience.
it's either you want or you don't, right? Humans will come up with ideas and things or reasons why they shouldn't do things and why they should, you know? And at the end of the day, the ones who change the world are the ones who believe that they could.
Oof,
You know what I
bars.
mean? So don't half-ass it. If you have a dream to do something, then go for it. Like, don't half-ass it.
Yeah, yeah, because at the end of the day, like if you're all in, you need to be all in with you,
Yeah,
with your thoughts, with your beliefs. Like you can't even let somebody else's doubts come into your dream because if their doubts become your doubts, then you really start like not doing it. Now you half
yeah,
stepping and not doing all these other things. And I think that's great advice, man. Like it's either you're all in or you're not. Because if you're not 100% in, like you're closer to zero than anything else.
yeah.
So great advice. And the advice that we always leave you with here on Fundamental is the fundamentals work if you work the fundamentals. Once again, Diego Quinn, thank you very much.
Appreciate you, bro.
Where can the people reach you? What are your socials and all that?
Man, socials. I don't even be on there really no more, man. But Cassius underscore Quinn. That's my
Cassius,
IG.
Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali,
yeah. That's
Cassius underscore Quinn.
yeah. That's pretty much yeah.
Yeah, man. Listen, this man is a man of a man of value, a man of integrity. This man is a man of a dying breed. He's come from a different cloth. The mindset and everything that he's doing in life is remarkable. And I'm so proud of you, man, because you know, like, there's so many kids out there that are gonna listen to this episode and they think that they want to be basketball players, and they only think that because
Yeah,
that's the only dream that they're sold when they're 14, 15, 16 years
yeah,
old.
yeah.
And for you to become a great man, graduate, have a bachelor's degree, take care of your body, take care of your finances,
Mm.
and be in the real estate game and do all the remarkable things that you're doing. I'm super proud of you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.